Hello and welcome back to Spirit Quests. This is episode 7 where we are reviewing Stranahan's Diamond Peak Colorado whiskey. Some people call it Black Label, but its name is Diamond Peak. How does it differ from regular Stranahan's? Let's find out together. Apple cider, green apples and red apples, applesauce. Apple is a big thing in the nose. I would go as far as to say apple pie. I do get pie spices. Clove is big in the nose. There are some other things like ginger and cinnamon, but clove is big and apples are very big. I also get melons. The taste follows the nose. It's very heavy in oak. It also is full of apple. It is full of melon. It is a very full spirit. So I'm going to add 5 milliliters of water and let it open up while we talk. So, first of all, this is batch number 19. There you go. It says no two batches are the same. This batch is number 19. Okay. How does this differ from regular Stranahan's? First of all Stranahan's are aged in char number 3 New American Oak, like a bourbon, but their mash bill consists of 100% barley, like a Scotch. So this is a uniquely American spirit, whereas the normal or yellow label Stranahan's is aged between 2 and 5 years. This is consistently blended at 4 years. Okay. What else can I tell you about this? This is bottle number 2276. Yes, they put that. The distiller is Rob Dietrich, who is the master distiller for Stranahan's whiskey. The owner and the person who came up with Stranahan's whiskey is a man by the name of Jess Graber. So where did the name Stranahan's come from? Well, there's an interesting story there. You see, Jess needed a place to set up shop and set up his distillery, and he had a neighbor who owned a barn. So Jess went to his neighbor and said, "Can I set up my distillery in your barn, Mr. Stranahan?" And Mr. Stranahan said, "Well, that's all very well and good. What are you going to call your whiskey?" And he said, "Well, I'm going to call it Stranahan's, of course." And of course, Mr. Stranahan was delighted to have Jess come into his barn to make whiskey. How do you sell something to someone? Offer to name it after them. People like their names. So, what can I tell you more about this spirit? It gets a lot of hype. It gets a lot of hype. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Stranahan's Colorado whiskey is very good. It deserves to be hyped up a bit. It's not merely a hipster drink. So what if hipsters and the cool kids enjoy it? That's just more people that are drinking good whiskey. There's no reason that all of us can't enjoy it together. So, now that it's sat a while, let's give it another nosing. Now the toffee is coming out. Leather. There's a metallic in the nose now. There's a minerality in the nose. And I would say that there's cream corn on the palate, as well as that minerality that I talked about earlier. Leather works its way through on the palate a little bit, but to a lesser extent than on the nose. Toffee is present in the background, but really the dominant sweetness is cream corn, which is interesting because there is no corn in the mash bill of this spirit. Go figure. And as I pointed out last time, some people that are not as familiar with whiskey have mistakenly said that this is a bourbon, and have mistaken the malty sweetness in here for a corn sugar sweetness, for a fructose sweetness from what they believe to be a high corn mash bill, when in fact there is no corn at all. That is merely a tasting note. So 47% alcohol. I've already added 5 more milliliters of water, and we will see what happens. I didn't do the math on this one, but I suspect that we're between 40 and 43% alcohol by volume right now. Math people in the comments, please do your algebra. Tell me if I worked this problem out correctly in my head. And in the meantime, I would like to point out that this is about $15 more expensive than the base product. It's not striking me as being as complex a spirit as the standard variant Stranahans. I will say that when I taste this, the spices and tasting notes, particularly the apple pie, scream Christmas to me. And incidentally, perhaps this is buying me, but I actually got this as a Christmas gift. Yay me! I didn't open it until New Year's. And I waited until New Year's because we had already been drinking on Christmas, and I wanted to have a sober palate to appreciate the new bottle of expensive whiskey that I just got as a gift. So I didn't want any of the flavor opportunities to be lost on an already impaired palate. So I waited until New Year's to open it. I've drank very little since then, until I poured this last dram. It was right up to about there or so, which left minimal room for oxidization. It's been oxidizing for about 3 months, by the way. The taste hasn't changed significantly, but as I pointed out on my previous review, Stranahan's does tend to get better with age and a little bit of oxidization. So maybe I'll revisit this in 3 to 6 months and let you know how it's changed and document the flavor profile as it changes. I would like to suggest to you that if you want to get a bottle of this, do as I have instructed. Pour yourself a glass right away after opening it, and then stow it away, let it oxidize, come back to it in 3 to 6 months and see how it's changed. And only have it every so often, and you'll really get more out of this whiskey. You'll pad it out, so to speak, and you'll have a richer, fuller experience for your money. So much for that. Let's go back to the whiskey. Oh, I'm picking up banana bread in the nose now. Have you ever had cognac or brandy? Because there are brandy-like notes in the nose. I do get grapes. Welch's grape juice. Not grape jelly, mind you. I get port wine in the nose. Believe it or not, I get a port wine smell. Yes, blackberries, cassis, dark fruits such as plums, nectarines. And I would say that the citrus is starting to come out as well. Oh, that's good. Cream corn has become more prevalent, as has the leather flavor, and the port wine flavor is also present in the palate. Yes, imagine like a Malbec with cream corn sweetness. Yes, this is quite good. Quite good. I will say that it is not as engaging to me as the normal Stranahans. So for some people, I don't know that it would be worth spending the extra $15 to get the Diamond Peak. It is different. It is good. It is not better or worse. It is different. It is sweeter. It is more balanced. It is less complex. It's not simple, but it's less complex than its standard or yellow label blended variant. Blended from the same distillery, by the way. So it's still technically a single malt American whiskey. I don't think I have anything else to tell you about this. Pick it up if you want to. If you like more of the wood tannins, the port wine flavors, the minerality, and the sweetness, I recommend this. If you want more of a spicy, punchy, engaging, complex maze of flavors, no maze in the mash bill, by the way, pick up the yellow label variant instead. Apart from that, I believe I've said everything I want to say about this whiskey at this time. Let's go with one more nosing and tasting just to be sure. I will say that I picked up almost like a Febreze smell in the nose, some kind of scented cleaner. It's almost like a pine saw like smell in the nose, but more gentle. Mm-hmm. That's good. I am not picking out anything new to report, so I am going to say that that is the end of our video together. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. It really does help. Just take a few moments to like the video, subscribe to me if you wish. I would consider it a huge personal favor. Also, comment. If you have a bottle of Stranahan's Diamond Peak, tell me what you experienced. Tell me if you got the same things I did. Please share this if you found it helpful in any way. And I will be dropping a Patreon soon, so if you want to support me that way, you are more than welcome to. You can not support me, You can support me by liking the video, commenting, subscribing for free, or if you want to get extra goodies and gifts, you can support me through Patreon. So the decision is yours as to what to do. Until next time, I have been your host and tour guide on our journey together through the experience of Stranahan's Diamond Peak, Colorado whiskey.